So with all this business popping off, it's no wonder you don't have time but for so much. There's two separate releases happening now. There's
Yeah.
Trust the Shooter and Layers.
Yeah.
That Trust the Shooter completely snuck up on me. What are we doing with that?
Yeah, Trust the Shooter is it's an EP that I'm doing that's coming out actually in a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an opportunity for me to launch my company. My company is called Bad Half Entertainment.
Okay.
I have a joint venture with Ingrooves where I can release music through my company, and I'm about to start signing other artists. And everything that I do, even if I put it on a major from here on in, it's gonna go through my company. So this is kind of the EP is it's tied into the album. It's called Trust the Shooter Tabernacle. Tabernacle will be on the EP and on the album.
Okay.
It's tied into the album, but this EP will be songs separate from the album. All of these EP songs are not from the album.
Okay.
And they're a glimpse into what to expect from Bad Half for the rest of the year.
Gotcha.
Layers is the album.
Do you have any artists signed to Bad Half already? Or,
Well, right now, me and Mr. Porter partnered up, and we got this girl named Tierra signed from Detroit. That's the girl that you met yesterday. So it's gonna get a little more confusing now because when me and Mr. Porter partner up and work with people, it's called Bad Dope, and that's a hybrid of my company and his company. His company is Planet Dope. My company is Bad Half. So it's Bad Dope. We partner up and work with artists. But I'm also only signing artists to Bad Half, and he's also only signing artists to Planet Dope. I mean
all right. So Half Planet
to Planet Solar System around the universe.
Bad Dope.
Bad Karma. But you get what I'm saying, though, right?
I'm trying to. This is damn ridiculous. Why can't you people?
It gets like that when Mr. Porter is involved in things, man, because he's too cerebral, man. He's too cerebral. I can't keep up with him.
Kid Vicious.
Kid Vicious, of course.
I'm shout out to Kid Vicious. I can't wait for
Kid
that.
Vicious. You'll hear Kid Vicious on the EP, but he'll be representing in a way on there to where you'll see that he's kind of up next.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And on to not Planet Half.
Planet Dope.
Off to
Bad Half.
Bad Half. Dope Planet. Right. Bad Planet.
Bad Planet is us together signing artists. The Karma.
So moving
Dope.
on to things that aren't confusing. The album Layers.
Mm-hmm.
This, I'm taking it, is your opportunity to get a little more personal, as opposed to the things that you do on a Prime track or the things you do on a Slaughterhouse album.
Yeah, it's more broad. It's more broad. It's a little bit of a look into what I've kind of been up to while I've been working on these projects, and there's a lot more of my perspective.
Okay.
On here,
it's a very evolved perspective. You know, from drinking it's from binge drinking to being sober for 4 years. You're a father. You're a husband. You know what I mean? Like, for all intents and purposes, a family man.
I'm the kind of person I need to talk about these things in order to stay focused on them. If I get distracted, that's a relapse. Even if I'm not physically drinking, if I get distracted, if I allow myself to get into a lot of old behaviors, that's why I won't play into negativity. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I answered the Drake question like I did. I'm not gonna allow people to spin that into a negative.
Right.
You know, like I don't feel like it. You know, because I get involved and I get too deep with the outsiders, and then next thing you know, I get too deep with this person, and then I'm in a certain mood, and then I'm at the mall, and somebody say something, and I punch somebody in the face, and then next thing you know, I'm arguing with this person tomorrow, and then 2 days later, I'm fucking this bitch over here, and then 3 days later, I'm drinking again.
All that in a week.
Yeah, I might as well retire at that point.
Well, let's not have you do that.
I'm
not.
not.
Of people like retiring. That always sucks.
Yeah,
I hate it when like some of my favorites start talking retire. Like Joe's been talking retirement, which is annoying as hell to me. Yeah. I don't see the purpose in creatives retiring at all. I don't think you're supposed to ever retire when you're a creative.
What about when creatives are past their prime and they're rapping in a way that's harmful to their legacy?
I don't see that with artists who are dedicated to what they're doing. It may sound different from what you remember, but a prime is a section of time.
What about if it's an artist who's just concerned with that?
I don't think he should.
Let's use boxing as an example.
I see, and
Floyd
that's exactly the kind of examples that I steer away from, because this is not a physical attribute. It's a mental attribute. You get sharper, you get more perspective, you get broader.
Everybody doesn't get sharper.
Yeah, but the ones who do can stick around. If you're retiring because you don't have it anymore, that's one thing. But if you're dope and you still got it, I don't. But
what if you sharper? What if you sharper at what you're accustomed to doing, but the climate around you is changing? And
I don't think that should have anything to do with what you're doing specifically, because every climate switches back around and comes back around, especially in hip hop.
It got everything to do with it, because if you sharp and you're doing the kind of rap that you do and nobody cares.
Well, as long as people care, you're supposed to care. Like, you very rarely are the artists that I'm talking about putting out music for other people. They're mostly putting it out because this is dope to them. And as an artist, the goal is to do it to death. I've always believed. James Brown did it to death. Etta James did it to death. Like, Charlie Parker died on his couch writing sheet music. You're supposed to do it to death. You're not supposed to retire as a creative. Now, that's my 2 cents.
I feel you.
I'm just going to wrap this up, because I don't want to get in an argument with him, because he'll punch me.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
He may punch me in the face, and then next thing you know, be drinking again, and now I got that on my conscience. And
I shouldn't have said that. Why did I say that?
It's all my fault. He's in the mall screwing some chick in the bathroom, and it's all completely my fault.
I'm not screwing no chick nowhere, man. I'm telling you.